Hi, I'm Laura. Welcome to Heart Driven Tarot. For this week's lesson in the cards of the tarot, we are continuing with the sword suit of swords. And today we are going to talk about the Three of Swords. As I've previously mentioned, the swords relate to they're the element of air, and air relates to the mind, to the intellect, to communications, to speaking, to logic. And what we have in this image, of course, it's an image that people balk at when it pops up in a reading because it doesn't look pleasant. We have this bright red heart in the center of the image being pierced symmetrically by three swords. And then of course we have three clouds in the background, rain clouds, and we see the streams of rain pouring forth. So this typically is associated with a situation that is heart-wrenching, a heartbreak, anything that is bringing grief, dismay, concern, especially heartache and heartbreak. And so that's the first impression you get when this card pops up. And of course it relates to the number 3, which is associated with more than 2. Sometimes if this pops up, it hasn't been my experience, but I have heard other readers say that it could suggest a threesome, or there's a third party, someone is cheating if it's a relationship question. But overall, the impression of the card and the energy it conveys is that of heartbreak, heartache, etc. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be bad. It could also suggest that this is a time that you need to feel those feelings and to let them go, to let the tears come. And this is, in all candor, a challenge that I wrestle with often. I often have had in my lifetime, in very personal situations, whether it's a heartbreak especially, to let myself go, to let those tears come. I cry easily at movies. I cried last week when I saw Jane Goodall and she had some heartfelt stories, but in some personal grief-filled situations, it's been hard for me to let that go. But it really is important. It's a cleansing and a clearing. And note the stark contrast between, we've got that neutral gray color of the gray clouds, storm clouds, the rain, contrasted, and also then kind of the gray blue of the swords contrasted with that bright red heart, suggesting just that something is just really a strong heart situation. So the general meaning associated with this card, especially when it's upright, is the grief, sadness, sorrow, or breakup. But you can be looked at positively in that when this comes up, it does suggest that it's time for you to cleanse and clear and just let those feelings out of your system. Now, a negative association could be that it's just very difficult for you to go through. Now, that's also if this card pops up reversed. It may mean that you're holding on to your grief. You're just dwelling in it. And it's time to release it and to let it go. So that can often be the meaning if this card shows up reversed. Now, how do you use this card as any kind of inspiration? Well, I definitely can use this card as a reminder. In fact, I'm in a particular coaching group, and I was advised, given the particular topic that I raised, I was advised to really get into my feelings, to tap into them. And so this would be a good reminder for me that if something pops up from the past that I haven't fully grieved, that this is the time, that I really need to let go, get into those feelings, even though they seem terrifying. And that's why I have had trouble, because I've been terrified of the strength of those feelings. But this can be used for that particular purpose. So when this pops up, the Three of Swords, see it as either mirroring your current situation of grief, heartbreak, sadness, or as a reminder that it is important to cleanse and clear your system of anything that has been holding you back, any sadness or sorrow that you have experienced. Now, the relevant music selection, I had quite a few that I thought of, but I came across this new song that was new to me. It's not a new song, but it's called Rain Down on Me. And it's a collaboration between Dave Matthews and Santana. And there was one other artist, and I can't recall their name. I think it was his name. I just wasn't familiar with it. But listen to that. I'll include that in the show notes. But I just thought it's iconic Santana, but also Dave Matthews. And it's just the idea of this rain and cleansing rain, in my opinion. Also, I wanted to recommend a book for the week, and I forgot to put it closer. Let me just grab it here. Apologize for this, not have it prepared. But if you're dealing with issues of the heart, I recommend this process and this book called The Healing Code. Healing Code by Alex Lloyd and Ben Johnson. And my copy of this book, I got this in June of 2010. And I have used the Healing Code. Basically, in a nutshell, this Dr. Alex Lloyd, his wife was suffering from severe depression. And they spent over $100,000, all kinds of therapists, etc., trying to help her. Long story short, on a flight when he was coming back from somewhere, this particular code, Healing Code, was downloaded to him by Spirit. And when he had his wife do this practice, the depression started lifting and she was healed of it in a short time. It's kind of similar, a little bit like the idea of tapping, which I really haven't done, where you tap different meridians in your body to release emotions, to release negative feelings. But the Healing Code, and there's a universal code, and I've done it. In fact, I did it yesterday. I hadn't done it for a couple months because I have so many practices that I do, but it is rather meditative, and basically you direct your energy, your fingertips, at different parts of your face, and it's a process that helps to heal the heart. So just check this out, the Healing Code. Won't hurt you, could definitely help. A lot of people have been helped by it. I hope this lesson has been helpful for you, and until next time, remember, illumine your mind, inspire your life with tarot.